At the dawn of the new millennium, one name ruled the world of mobile phones: Nokia. If you lived anywhere on Earth between 2000 and 2007, chances are you owned one, wanted one, or trusted one with your life. Nokia wasn't just a company, it was the phone company. At its peak, Nokia controlled over 40% of the global mobile phone market, a level of dominance no smartphone brand has ever achieved since. And then there was the Nokia 3310, a device so legendary it became immortalized in internet memes years later. It can survive drops, crashes, dust, heat, even time itself. The battery lasted for days, the buttons felt solid, the ringtone echoed in every street, school, and office across the world. Nokia phones were not flashy, they were reliable, they were indestructible, they were trusted. Inside Nokia's headquarters in Finland, executives believed they had cracked the perfect formula: incremental innovation, hardware excellence, and global distribution. Year after year, profits soared. Competitors tried and failed to catch up. To Nokia, the future looked secure. Too secure. Because while Nokia was perfecting the phone, someone else was quietly reinventing what a phone could be.
January 9th, 2007. On a stage in San Francisco, Apple's CEO Steve Jobs walked out wearing his signature black turtleneck. In his hand was a device that would change the world forever. This, he said, is an iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. It was the iPhone. Inside Nokia, the reaction was not panic, it was laughter. Executives reportedly dismissed the iPhone as a toy. No physical keyboard, weak battery, expensive, limited carrier support, and most importantly, Apple had zero experience in mobile phones. Nokia engineers believed Apple didn't understand the realities of the global market. Touchscreens, they thought, were impractical. Consumers wanted buttons. They wanted durability. They wanted long battery life, not glass slabs that shattered when dropped. In Nokia's internal meetings, the iPhone was described as interesting but irrelevant. That misjudgment would cost them everything. Because while Nokia focused on phones as hardware, Apple focused on phones as platforms, apps, software, ecosystems, and Nokia was not ready.
Behind the scenes, Nokia was not the unified machine the world imagined. It was a battlefield. For years, Nokia relied on Symbian, an operating system originally designed for simple mobile devices. Symbian worked, but it was never built for touchscreens, modern apps, or fluid user experiences. As Apple and Google raced ahead with iOS and Android, Nokia engineers knew Symbian was falling behind. So Nokia did what large corporations often do. They started another project. That project was Mego, a modern Linux-based operating system built in partnership with Intel. Mego represented hope, a clean break from the past, a chance to compete in the smartphone era. But instead of choosing a direction, Nokia chose both. Teams fought internally for resources, managers delayed decisions, engineers complained that bureaucracy slowed everything. While Apple released one clear iPhone vision each year, Nokia released dozens of confusing devices running fragmented software. Symbian was old but dominant, Mego was new but unfinished, and Nokia couldn't decide which one to bet on. By the time Nokia hesitated, the market moved on. In 2010, Nokia made a historic decision. For the first time in its history, it appointed a non-Finnish CEO. His name was Stephen Elop. Elop came directly from Microsoft, where he led the business division. To Nokia's board, he seemed like the perfect choice, an outsider who could cut through bureaucracy and make bold decisions. But inside Nokia, suspicion immediately grew. And then came the memo. In February 2011, Stephen Elop sent an internal email to all employees, a message that would later become infamous. It was called the Burning Platform. In it, Elop compared Nokia to a man standing on a burning oil platform, forced to jump into freezing water to survive. He declared that Nokia's existing strategy had failed, that Symbian was obsolete, that Nokia needed radical change immediately. The memo leaked to the public. Overnight, Nokia's own CEO had publicly declared its products dead. Sales collapsed, consumer confidence shattered, partners panicked. The platform was burning, but now everyone could see the flames. Soon after the memo, Elop announced Nokia's new strategy. Nokia would abandon Symbian. MeeGo would be sidelined, and Nokia would partner exclusively with Microsoft Windows Phone. The tech world was stunned. Android was open source, proven, rapidly growing. Samsung was already winning with it. Many Nokia engineers internally supported Android. So why Windows Phone? This decision ignited one of the greatest conspiracy theories in tech history. Was Stephen Elop a Trojan horse? A former Microsoft executive? A CEO who publicly destroyed Nokia's existing products? A leader who chose Microsoft's failing mobile OS over Android? Windows Phone had almost no market share, limited apps, weak developer support. Yet Nokia bet everything on it. Some believed Elop was protecting Microsoft's interests, sacrificing Nokia in the process. Others argue he believed Windows Phone could differentiate Nokia from Android's crowded market. The truth may never be fully known, but the result was undeniable. Consumers didn't want Windows Phone, developers didn't support it, and Nokia's market share collapsed at historic speed. By 2013, the end was inevitable. Nokia, once the king of mobile phones, was bleeding cash. Market share had fallen from over 40% to single digits. Layoffs spread across Finland. Entire teams were dismantled. Then came the announcement. Microsoft would acquire Nokia's phone division for 5.4 billion euros. At the press conference, the mood was somber. Stephen Elop stood beside Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer. Nokia executives fought back tears. For many employees, Nokia wasn't just a company, it was a national symbol. When one Nokia executive broke down crying on stage, it captured the emotion of an entire country watching its greatest tech champion fall. The Nokia phone, once indestructible, was gone. But this is not the end of Nokia. Today, Nokia is no longer a consumer phone brand. Instead, it has reinvented itself as a global leader in telecommunications infrastructure, 5G networks, internet backbone technology, critical communications for governments and industries. In many ways, Nokia returned to its roots, building the invisible systems that connect the world. And the lesson? No company is too big to fail. Innovation is not about protecting what made you successful yesterday. It's about destroying it yourself before someone else does. Nokia didn't fail because it lacked talent. It failed because it hesitated. In the age of disruption, standing still is the most dangerous move of all.